If you're a skillful investor in property and you like purchasing property, you understand that it is in your best interest to buy as many properties as you possibly can as quickly as possible. Let me just explain this a little bit more. So my name's Thomas O'Regan, and over the last 4 years, me and my wife have 20x'd our property portfolio. Now, when it comes to investing in property, if you're able to compress the amount of time it takes you to purchase property, you're going to save a lot of, not only are you going to save a lot of money, but you are also going to make a lot more money. Why is that? Because over time, property prices go up. Would you believe? Now, what's the difference between, for example, buying 10 properties over the course of 10 years or one property every year versus buying 10 properties in 1 year? Now, let's assume that the properties you are buying are worth $300,000, and yes, you can buy properties worth $300,000 today. Why? How? I'm doing it. It's possible. Let's drop that. Now, the properties, if you were to purchase 10 properties, for example, to illustrate the point, this year, and the properties were going up by, say, 10, let's just call it 20 grand per year. If you purchased all those properties in the year one, then you would purchase all those properties for $300,000 each. Okay, so it cost you a total of $3 million, right? Just trying to keep the numbers simple here. Now, if the properties were going up by $20,000 a year, and again, just to keep the numbers simple, how much more would you pay if you purchased one property in the first year, and then the next year you purchased another property and that property went up by 20K, and then the next year you purchased another property, the property went up by 20K, and then the next year you purchased a property, the property went up by 20K, next year you purchased property, you went up by 20K. How much more money would you pay? I think you'd pay about an extra $180,000, right? You'd pay extra $180,000 in property, and you'd need an extra $180,000 of cash. So is it better to purchase one property every single year, or is it better to push as hard as you can and purchase as many properties as you possibly can in the shortest space of time? Hope it's obvious. Hope the answer's obvious, guys. Now, what's the other side of the coin, right? The other side of another way that would disadvantage you in this point that I'm trying to make here is not only is the property, you're losing value, or the property's becoming more expensive, but the debt is becoming more expensive as well, because you're getting higher levels of debt. And as well as that, you're requiring higher levels of rental income to support that debt. So not only is it costing you more cash, but it's costing you more money on an ongoing basis, right? It's costing you more money on an ongoing basis. I'm not going to really get into that too much, because I don't know how to explain it right now in this second, so it makes sense without a whiteboard behind me. But I hope I'm making this clear. Now, when as an investor, I want to purchase as many properties as quickly as possible. And if you look at any successful investor, a lot of them have got to the point they are at by purchasing a lot of properties in a very short period of time. And that is where the explosive growth happens. It's like it just compounds upon itself. The more volume they do, the compounding is bigger. The longer the time that the properties are compounding grow, the longer the properties have time to compound, it just turns into this huge snowball, and that's how you make a lot of money. So you got to push hard sometimes. You really got to push, but it's definitely worth it. I would much rather, for example, if I could, and if the question is if you could, it's just whether you believe you could or not. I'd much rather purchase 10 properties in a year and just make it happen, do whatever I have to do, than purchase one property over the course of 10 years, because In one situation, I'll probably be retired after 3 years, and in the other situation, it'll probably take me 10, maybe more years to retire. Okay, all right, see you guys next time, bye.